important is that, by the way, to learn who you are? And I guess kind of relating to the question that the fan asked is like, do you have to figure out a little bit about yourself when you're training as well? Like what you're
Well, my thing for training guys is to right away learn who you are or who you want to be. So like, if you're a shooter, become a really freaking good shooter, and then learn how to defend, get in shape. You know why? Because 3-and-D pays almost max contract nowadays.
Yep.
So like, why not learn your role? So not everybody is Kobe, not everybody is Jordan. Yes, you can strive to be it, but at the end of the day, you got to think about the size of those guys, man. You know what I'm saying? And so like the shorter players, they normally can shoot. Isaiah Thomas, when he was killing, he was a shooter. I'm talking about the headband IT. I'm not talking about the older one. Kyrie, he can shoot. Steph, he can shoot. Like, there's not too many shorter players that last in the NBA that just can't shoot. People might want to think, oh, Russ is 6'4". He's not a short guy. Like,
Yep.
But at the same time, he has a very, very good pull-up jumper around the free throw line. So, you know, you gotta know who you are and understand that before you go into college. Like, you go into college knowing, okay, this is my role. You end up shining. Like, you can't go thinking you're the boss everywhere that you go. You know, because sometimes
it's ego thing,
every
right?
business needs janitors. Every business needs a person that deals with finance. Every person, you have to have different roles. So.
Yeah. Is it like an ego thing though? Some people don't get. Do you think that's why they don't become successful? Like
most people get transferred out of college after their first 2 years because they can't find a role and stuff that they used to do in high school. They run into somebody that's better at it, that's more athletic, and they get recruited over instead of just finding where I'm going to place myself on the court and I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it better than anybody that's a step in front of me. Like, that's like the mindset you need to have.
Mm-hmm. How much is looking at your own stats a big part of the picture? Like comparing and trying to look at game tape. Is that what takes a lot of people over the edge?
I'm not a stats guy. I'm about winning.
Mm-hmm.
Stats are fun, but I'm just about winning. That's like ultimately what determines a lot how you impact winning. And sometimes people will impact your winning in a great way that didn't have the stats. Draymond, you all right over there?
Yeah, I think so. I'm good. Yeah. So.
What's going on? You cooking in the kitchen or something?
Yeah. Ain't nobody in the kitchen, bro. I don't know who.
You might have like a low-key emergency. Hey, bro, like, listen. Go ahead. I'm gonna take this question. Go check on whatever it is. I'll but yeah, no, I'm not a stats guy. I believe in like just knowing who it is. Draymond Green, he impacted winning a lot by not having great stats. Kind of Jokic too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of players that don't have like the stats and they really impact winning. Steph doesn't. Most people see the 30 points that Steph can get. But his impact is so much more than that. And he won't get the stats to prove it. And the reason why is because his team makes extra passes, right? But the people become open because of him. So whereas Draymond may be getting the stats because he's making the extra pass, it all started because of Steph. So
right, yeah. We got a question saying, what are your thoughts on Jalen Green choosing the G League?
I don't know. I'm nervous about it. I mean, it was not the first time high schoolers were able to go to NBA.
Yeah.
It does have a nice setup. But, man, the thing is also, like, I had to interview, like, G League coaches or whatever, and they were just telling me that they're nervous about high school players coming because they're kids.
Right.
They're kids, and then these are, like, grown men that they're going to be playing against that dominated in college. So I'm not worried about the Jalen Greens. I'm worried about the other players that aren't up to that level that I know are going to declare for the draft that aren't ready.
The prospect that's like 20 to 100, ranked 20 to 100.
You can all kind of stuff happen. Like there's a couple kids that just decided I'm not going to go to college or the NBA or G League. I'm just going to stay and just work out.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many different routes. I mean, you can go overseas. You can do a lot of different things, but I'm more traditional. I like going to college because I like the lessons that you get to teach people in college, the stuff, the experience. Like college was so much fun to me, like a lot. On top of college being fun, just the whole experience of traveling, team bonding and all that type of stuff and going to class and, you know, partying, all that stuff, man. It makes your whole college experience. So, like, I really appreciate and value the one that I have. You know, obviously the whole thing is, or everybody goes with it. Oh, they're not getting paid to play, and
Yeah.
you know, and I get that.
That's
That's
the main
really
issue,
hard.
right? That's the main
It's
issue.
it's a tough situation because they're making some people rich, right? But if take all that away, you just talking about the love for the game. I love the college route, but you know, I'm a big Jalen Green fan, so I'm hoping that he goes and kills it and doesn't get hurt. Most importantly,
that's a really important part too, because then you're just messing up your the paycheck that you could get from it too.
he got a paycheck too. Sheesh.
Oh man, let's see what we got here.
He got a paycheck.
Is it possible to go pro being undersized PG without an amazing 3-point shot? If yes, how? Ooh,
I don't know.
You
know, and the reason why is because I can't name too many short guards that can shoot. No, that can't shoot.
That can't shoot? Yeah. I mean, like, even Rondo, who is semi-short, he's like 6'3", and he can't shoot.
No. But even him, like, nowadays, he doesn't stand out as much.
Yeah.
Because it's been more about shooting. So, like, now it would be double hard, especially if you're under 6 foot. Like, I can't name any.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, like, what do you think the first thing someone wants to do? Let's say they've made it the high school route. Like, they've put up numbers in high school. They found a way to get to a college, but now they're at the point where they're like, I think I can make it to the league, or I can make it to Europe or professionally. What is that next thing they have to learn, or that has to click for them?
Wait, repeat that one more time because you kind of broke up halfway through the.
Oh, my bad. Let's say like, you know, there's a guy and he thinks he might be on the verge of making it to the league. What's a good way to figure out if you're at that point yet where you can go?
Oh man, by the time you're in high school, like 11th, 10th, 11th grade, you should be matching up against college players and NBA players. So like what I try to do is schedule open gyms that has like pros in them. Mm-hmm. And so like high school players will be able to play against pros and see where they're at, like where you're at right now. What do you need to work on? You getting body, you need to go lift weights, or you hitting shots, you need to put up jumpers. Like you want to see how you match up against it. Because like I did the same thing when I was in the 8th grade. I would play against college players all the time. And so like I gained confidence through that. You know, so, and it gave me a good measure stick of where I was in terms of like being good or not.
I actually really like this question right here from Trey Ruffin. When you're training a player, do you work on their weaknesses? What's your philosophy for improving a player? Like, what's your ideology?
I'd rather you have a super strength than focusing on too many weaknesses because.
So try not to spread yourself thin, kind of thing.
So like think about like this. So like Steph doesn't have. He has a really good handle, but it's not what a lot of people think. But I really, because I know him. I've watched him work out a million times. Like I watched him play front row, like all that type of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So I get to see this stuff like in person. So, but all what he does revolves around his jumper, so it makes everything else easier. So like if I'm training a player, I'm trying to focus on like a strength. Let's find like a real strength. Is it passing? Is it rebounding? Is it shooting? Like, and 9 times out of 10 nowadays, it should be shooting.
Right.
So now we're gonna make everything easier based off of your shot, and everything that you do it's gonna look like you're shooting the basketball, mm-hmm. right? Or like you're in position to shoot, and now you draw attention to yourself. Now it leaves other people open. So I focus on strengths opposed to weaknesses. Obviously, if a person just literally can't dribble, I'm gonna help you out a little bit. But that's actually, I thought that was a really good question, actually.
No, that is a really good question. Shout out to Trey. Let's see what else we got here. Ooh, okay. What we doing here? All right, let's go here. LaMelo Ball, Rookie of the Year, 2021.
I'm just worried about him getting hurt.
I don't even know if like he's not gonna be a first overall pick for sure. That's my opinion.
I don't know. I can't really tell if he's going to be a Rookie of the Year. I think he's going to be a lottery pick, no doubt. But, you know, he'll be up there. He's going to get paid. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be cool to see if he goes number 2 like his brother. But number 1 would be awesome. But I just don't know. There's a lot of good players coming out in the draft, whenever that's going to be.
Who's the player that, like, you're most looking forward to watch?
I just want to keep watching Zion, bro.
I know, man. I know.
I want to keep watching Zion. I mean, he was going for 20 every game as a rookie.
Yeah.
And getting, rebounds, and it was fun to watch. He didn't actually end up rebounding and blocking enough shots for me, like as much as I thought he was, but I can't expect too much because he's shorter. And then like guys like Jokic are already up there. College, they're slightly a little bit less athletic. So I can't wait to watch him and see how John Morant develops. But honestly, if I had to pick, it was Curry, because I can't wait to see Curry without Durant now.
Oh, I feel like he's gonna have not a revenge tour, kind of like what Westbrook did a while back, but he's gonna have a chip on his shoulder a little bit.
He's about to go nuts. He's about to go nuts.
Have you ever been starstruck by meeting a player or training a player or anything like that?
Nope. No.
Who's the guy when you got into the gym you had that realization like, damn, I can't believe I'm doing this right now?
Nobody,
eh?
They're all the same, though. I'm working with a lot of players. I don't really share everybody I work with, but I work with a lot of players, and it's just the same. Like, they all come and they think that they're good at one thing, and I just let them know they find out that they're not.
Mm-hmm.
And here's how you're going to get better at it. So, I don't know, man. Like, there's a lot of different ways to improve a player, but it's all the same thing when you get in the gym. I'm not starstruck by anybody. I could train.
They're all humans, right? They're
all humans. So, like, they lace them up the same way. They just have a lot more money in their bank accounts than I do. But I don't really trip off of the fact I never got started. I met all those guys too. A lot of people that you can name, I met a lot of them, and it was just like another day. And then Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, guys like that, they're my age. Kyrie, like 4 years younger than me. I'm not, have googly eyes over. Like, bro, what? Like, no. I could have went to school with these dudes.
True, yeah.
I actually played it. I mean, so Westbrook's my cousin. I played against him. I played against Drew Holiday. And Drew Holiday was like a ninth grade when I was a junior. I played against Harden, DeRozan, like so many NBA players. And so, like, after you play, I come from a generation where it's like, no, I'm trying to kill you.
Right.
That was a generation.
The Mamba mentality, man.
Yeah, clear out. We're going ones. Like, that was my, that's how I looked at things. And on top of that, I don't want you to score a bucket. And when we're done playing, it's not like being friendly and also like, no, like, I want a rivalry. I wanted it. Like, you're talking about all the smoke. Like, I wanted smoke, like, when I played, and I didn't necessarily know how to get better in terms of, like, becoming more skillful as far as having a trainer. But one thing I knew about was competition, because of N1. Like, I watched them my whole life. I watched basketball my whole life. So, and then I grew up on Kobe. Like, I started playing basketball literally because of Kobe. So, like, seeing his approach, like, okay, now I want to do the same thing. I want to take away everything from you and leave nothing. And, we can be cool, but I don't really care about that. So that's all I always was.
I have a question about Westbrook, right? You're close, right? You said you were close with him.
No, it's my cousin, bro. We're not close. When we were younger, we were playing with each other, meet at the same park and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, like, what do you think about the perception of him as a teammate, though? Like, a lot of people have that perception that, like, he's like all about himself, but I don't see that when I see him play. I just see him as, like, really competitive.
You talk to his teammates, they love him.
Exactly. Right.
Everybody speaks good stuff about Westbrook. So, like, it's kind of cool to hear the stories about him because it'll go hard for you. He just gives off the persona that he's a mean guy, but, like, he wasn't when I was, all right, so Westbrook story. So, basically, my dad, he used to work for Orkin, right?
Okay.
So my dad would throw tents over everybody's house, like Shaq and just everybody, right? And one day he met this guy named Dr. Kreese. So Dr. Kreese was a strength and conditioning coach. I don't know if he still is. I don't know if he's passed away by now, but he used to be the strength and conditioning coach for UCLA. And so he was telling him, because I was looking for a trainer, but I could not find my dad, my mom were looking for could not find one. So I'm like senior year, right? So my dad finally links it up. He's like, can you train my son? So I go up to UCLA and I met Dr. Kreese. He kind of looks like the Kentucky Fried Chicken guy. That's all I remember. That white hair, white guy, like 6 foot, right? And so I look across and I see Westbrook. He said, "You're going to be training with him today, right?"
Mm-hmm.
This is my first day, like, working out. So we're doing, like, some plyometric stuff. And they're trying to get me to, like, swing my arms and use that as momentum to jump onto the box. But I was so used to, like, doing it without that momentum. My dad was a White Sox, so I, like, got a lot of athleticism from him.
Okay.
So, like, I'm, like, trying to, like, learn how to jump on a box. And so, like, Russ is, like, trying to explain to me, like, yo, like, you got to do it this way, right? And then, so I didn't do it. So then it goes to back to Dr. Creech. It's like, yeah, like, just make you swing your arms. I'm like, okay. And I didn't do it again. So I tried again. And so you remember the meme where y'all N-words tripping? And he kind of goes like,
yeah.
That's exactly how Rush looked at me like. and so like from that point on, I was like, okay. So when it actually happened in the interview where y'all just tripping, I was like, okay, I've seen that face before. I know that's the ultimate frustration that you can have with a person. But eventually I learned how to use my body and jump onto the plyometric box. But yeah, he was tight. I was slowing down his workout, but yeah, I know everything. You know, when Russell Westbrook started like banging out, I know a lot of workouts that he was doing with Dr. Kreese. Well, because he gave me like the workout, the whole workout situation. So the schedule. I'm sorry.
No, I know. I mean, I feel like I saw this video one time of Russ running the sand hills. Have you seen that video?
I live right by it.
Yeah, I mean, how effective is that for working on your game? Like, what part of that does that make you better?
It makes you quicker.
way quicker.
It makes you faster. I mean, it's like, did you ever watch Dragon Ball?
Yeah.
All right, so you remember they were trained in the hyperbolic time chamber?
I got you. Hey.
My guy. Oh yeah, we got some over here too. So you remember, actually my boy Nav has like the big collection of all the anime. But anyway, so you remember training in the hyperbolic time chamber, right?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
And like, wait, hold on. I'm losing my train of thought after you showed me that pop. What was the question again?
Man, what did I even say, bro? I just got caught.
After you showed me that, I completely forgot. Oh, that's pretty sick. He's got one of those. Oh, I got it. So after watching that, seeing them train, you know how the gravity's different, right?
Right. Yeah.
So when
Goku it's the same idea with that makes sense.
When Goku went to Namek, he was training in the ship, and he would turn the gravity up. So it's kind of like that when you're running the sand. The sand is like tough to run up. It makes it like twice as hard. And the thing about when you're going up, you're pushing the sand down, so you're actually sinking down a little bit. Okay. So the lighter that you are, the easier that it is because you're able to go up the sand without sinking inside the sand.
Kind of like mud?
Huh?
Is it kind of like mud?
It's similar, but like tougher to get through.
Right.
Like mud would actually make it easier, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
When it rains on the sand, it's like the sand hill turns into steps. Like it's easier to go up. Or when the sand is drying up. So yeah, it definitely helps, man. Like, it helps big time. First step for sure. But if you look at the people that go up there consistently, you can see their calves and their quads and their hamstring so strong.
Yeah.
And it works. It works pretty fast if you stay consistent. You're just gonna throw up the first time you try to go really, really fucking like really hard, like run up that hill, you're gonna throw up.